welcome to this week's Ask Tom. Now, last week and a few weeks ago, I answered questions by Jim, and I got to tell you, Jim was on a roll. He actually sent me another question that he had, and I thought it was so good that I need to share this with you. Jim asked, how much of the puppet's back storyline, personality, do you include in routines? And keep it funny. How do you use the puppet backstory when you introduce the puppet to start generating immediate laughs and or ahs? Isn't he cute in the minds of the audience? I know one way I can start generating laughs right off the bat is with my reactions to what the puppet is saying. I realize that you would not go into their whole profile, but how much is too much? How do you handle the puppet backstory for repeat performances? Jim, they are some great questions, and I was getting ready to answer them when you sent me the follow-up email. And the follow-up email said, actually, this question led me back to the script writing series that you did with Ken and others. This addresses most of my questions, so you don't have to answer it on your show unless you want to address it. The script writing series is a wonderful set of lectures. I also pulled out his book again. And by book, I'm assuming you meant his Creating a Character, which is an incredible book and exercise on creating a character. You can get it over on the mayorstudios.com website. It's a lot of work. It's not for somebody who just thinks, oh, well, I can just pull out a puppet and start, doing a script or doing a script that I bought. It involves work if you want to do this right. So I'm glad that you went back and were able to answer these questions by going to the script writing course. I'm so proud of that course. I wouldn't put my name on something if I didn't think it was helpful and valuable. And a lot of times I think some people just go through that stuff and never do the work. And to me, that's a waste of your money. If you want to learn this stuff, if you want to be good at it, you got to put in the time. This is not like any other art form. Well, other than maybe juggling. And juggling, you can drop and, you can create a joke out of it. But with ventriloquism, when you drop, everybody notices, and there's no real easy way to get out of that. It looks wrong. It breaks the mood. It ruins the illusion. So let's go to your questions, because I do want to answer a couple of these so that people can get an idea. How much of the puppet's back storyline, personality do you include in the routines, and keep it funny? As much as you need to get across the point that you're trying to do. The personality profile, I may draw bits and pieces out of it. Like for Dangerous, we mention, he grew up on a farm, and we go into a couple of bits about things that happened to him on that farm. We talk about his family very briefly. The fact that he was raised with 42 brothers and sisters. We don't, dwell on this. We don't go deep into it. It's just his back storyline and how he, came to be with me. And we touch on it. If it's not drawing a laugh, we move on to more current things. So how much should you use and still draw laughs? Just enough. Now, do I mention a lot of his back storyline before I bring him out? No, I don't. I do a very brief introduction, and I point out the fact that we were on Last Comic Standing, and people remember him more than they remember me. And that's just the truth. So that's what I do to bring him out. And you've already answered a lot of these questions by going back to the script writing course. Folks, if you are curious about any of these, take that class, take that course. It's available on the website. I'll include a link below this. It's not the cheapest course around, but if you want to write your own scripts, I can't recommend it enough. You're going to see Bill DeMar, and Bill is gone now, but he shares gold. And I remember the first time David Crone listened to that video, and he came back and he goes, I was thinking, man, this is the biggest waste of time, until I looked at the key points and realized Bill had talked about every one of those in his style. And I realized how much information he was actually sharing with us. And Steve Petra talks about his script writing. And Sarah Jones from Australia talks about her script writing. And then Ken shares all these amazing tools that can help make your script writing easier. And Mark Wade shared some tips. it's a good course. It's a good, solid course. If you're a member of Learn Ventriloquism, you can go up into the members bar and get it at a discount, because anyone who goes through the Learn Ventriloquism course gets discounts on my future products. So, hey, if you want to write your own scripts, you want to be better at this, check out the course. And Jim, I appreciate the kind words you said about it. Folks, if you have a question you'd like to ask here on Ask Tom, I've ended the commercial. Please check us out. Go to the website. Underneath the video, there is a link to the SpeakPipe app. You can leave a verbal message, or you can email me at info@learn-ventriloquism.com. Make sure you mention this is a question for the Ask Tom series, and I'll do it right here. I want to thank you all very much. That is the end of the questions I have for this series of recordings. I've done a batch of them. I think we've done 8 or 9. And so please ask your questions, because if you don't, this series ends. And I really love sharing this information with you. I hope that you enjoy getting it. And, I'd love to answer your questions. So please leave me one. Thank you so much for all you guys have done. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making this series a success in my mind, and for your kind words and comments that you shared, especially Chuck Lyons. Chuck is always making comments on Facebook about it. Chuck, you have no idea how much you mean to me, my friend, and I look forward to seeing you at the convention. Hopefully some of you will come out to the Vent Haven convention this summer too, and we can talk, maybe break some bread, have some lunch. Love to meet you. Until then, or until next week, thanks for tuning in to Ask Tom.